How heavy are those? Those are only 1500 litres, so hopefully these are light enough for our little Lindner to cope with. So we get to drive straight across here a few times. And then we're done. Now if we use less than half a tank, then we should have enough to do 17 as well. If we use more than half a tank, may go back to the store and top up. Now there's two animal mods. There's the animal extension mod, which adds the water pipes, and there is a second animal mod that adds the requirement to have water for chickens. So I'm not running that second mod. I'm just running the animal extension mod, which gives me the water pipes and some other useful stuff. I'm very carefully. There were a number of mods I wanted to use on this farm, and for the most part, I've got all of those loaded. And from now onwards, I'm carefully adding one or two mods and seeing how well they play with the rest of the mods I'm running, so that I can immediately turn around and say, okay, that one didn't work, we're done with that one. It's like the horse aggravation pack. There are two 12-meter seeders in that pack, and neither of them played particularly well. Now I don't know whether that's a problem with the mod or an interference with that mod and something else I'm running, but either way, the equipment was sold, and I don't have a plan on using them. And why am I stuck? There we go. We have GPS loaded, and I know that GPS doesn't play well with the enhanced driving mod. Now, I know there are some other mods which have a forward reverse gear of sorts, and I haven't tried to use any of those. I know one of them is an issue. The people who are playing with it are kind of, but I like the mod, so I'm going to live with the issue. I can't think what other mods. I can't believe it's still damp. Speed up time a little. Now this particular playthrough, I'm not playing at any specific game speed. For some of my smaller farms, I've done a strict ×5 on the Old Street Farm, and on Ungertsheim I'm doing at least a ×5. Although occasionally I will do faster than that if I need to, or if I've got nothing to do. But on this farm we're not going to be strictly times 5, times 15 or anything like that, because I know as the farm grows we're going to have challenges keeping up. Let's do that and get the tractor rolling. This tractor does have GPS, so I could technically set this up on a GPS turn, just so that I could get things lined up. That's a nice thing about potatoes, they're all straight lines, so you can just follow the furrows and be done with it. How are we doing on capacity? Yeah, I think we're going to use more than half a tank on this. Now those barrels are only 1500, so if we end up with less than 700 litres in the tank, I can use a full one of those to restock this, so we can run back to the store. In some ways I wish I'd gone for a heavier or more meaty motor on this thing. So we've only got 190 horsepower, which is less than the in-game Valtra comes with. But I think 190 is quite sufficient. I can have a fair amount of overlap here since this boom is wider than the rest of the field. Yeah, I think this setup will be our fertilizer spreader or sprayer for this year. We may look at a self-propelled next year if we can afford it, and demote this to a herbicide spot sprayer. Kind of interesting watching some YouTube channel. I mean, there's some guys who have a tractor and they have to use that for everything. There's other guys that have pretty much one tractor per job, but they're all older tractors and sufficient for that one job. You know, it's not like, oh well, this tractor could be used for various other things. It's sort of, this tractor is set up to run this piece of equipment and it's pretty much permanently attached to it. Oh, the GTX ones? I think I have loaded those onto this map. Obviously at the moment I'm only running sheep, and on Ungertheim I'm only running chickens, so I don't need pig food or TMR at this point. Okay, we'll get to the end here. Turn that off. How are we doing? 91%. So we still have a load at the top of the field, and I'm going to fold this up and use the track. So yes, that is, I believe, a DEF storage tank. Oh, there we go. And a DEF pump. And a bioheating plant. I don't know why I've added those mods, I must admit. Okay. Root crop storage. So I have, okay, so I have downloaded the GTX mods, but I have not enabled them on this playthrough yet. I do intend to. As far as I'm aware, the TMR mod, or the TMR mixer, they're both from FarmSim 17. He created them for FarmSim 17. The TMR mixer is a good mixer, and I used it in FarmSim 17, and uses approximately the same ratios as a regular bin feeder. The pig food mixer only has 3 input slots, and I believe does not do corn. So you only need wheat and barley, or wheat or barley, in slot 1. You need canola, sunflowers, or soybeans in slot 2, and you need potatoes or sugar beets in slot 3. So no need to grow corn. And I think there's another mixer that isn't by GTX that doesn't use corn, but doesn't use sugar beets or potatoes. I don't know, I can't remember. I could be mixing it up. But yeah. And I think one of the American maps had both of those mixers on as placed by the map maker. It was one of the farms I think Arthur played. I just don't recall which one it was. Okay, so we are done here. Pull off to the side. So we can give him a call and tell him that got done. We'll do that one. Probably take it a little bit easier along here. Try and avoid the trees as we leave. So when we get the opportunity to move down to purchase Oak Glen Farm, we'll probably be purchasing a few of these fields as well. At the moment we don't have the cash. Okay. So we've only got 1,000 litres in the tank. They've probably only got 100 back at the farm, so we are going to have to buy a pallet of liquid fertilizer. I could take some time out this afternoon and take our current low loader back and pick up the Lizard low loader. What the heck happened there? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. That's a problem. Okay. Come on. Oh, that's a pain in the butt. I must have caught that on the rear wheel. But that is well and truly stuck. They say, if you're going to mess things up, make them wonder how it happened. Okay, that's going to be a full reset. I'm going to have to get out. Map. Somewhere over here. Alrighty. Well, we still have fuel and stuff, so that's a good thing. I guess we're refueling or reloading the tank from here. Yeah, and that is the thing with... Seriously, how am I doing this? With cows, they seem to require a lot more feed. I'm attaching to the wrong end because I'm an idiot. Okay, let's try and attach to the right end. That would be an awesome plan. Although, so far in 19 I haven't gone into cows in a big way, but I have noticed that in general you are feeding them a lot, like a mix every day. That's a little bit tight. Maybe we should have gone for the narrows. Oh, and we have lost all of the liquid fertilizer. Yes. So we have to go down to the tower, to the store. That was a little bit costly, I guess. The sheep, I mean, I've got 42 sheep, and I don't know that they used more than a 3/4 of a bale of hay to feed them for 2 days. Oh, the other one is obviously pigs in seasons. Breed like rabbits. So I know, I think it was Farmer Klein was saying you kind of have to feed them twice a day. And every time you feed them, it's enough food to last for technically 2 days. So you're not running right against the wire. They wanted to do it daily, and you should probably feed all your animals daily. Because if you feed them at 9 o'clock in the morning one day, there's enough food for to last you till 6 o'clock the following night without you being, I'm going to lose animals because I didn't feed them. But if you try and get to 9 o'clock on the second day, you're probably not going to make it. Well, with pigs, because they breed so fast, once the breeding cycle's up, that's it. You're feeding them twice a day because they are producing at such a phenomenal rate. So I think I'll buy a regular tank for this, because we have the capacity for 2,000 litres since we lost everything that was in the sprayer when we glitched out there. Boom, 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 boom. That one. Of course, I didn't look at the price, but from volume wise, this is a full tank, close to it. There we go. All right, we are good to go. Never bothered reading the road signs here. Oh, you do come across the front. Okay, that's good. I thought they all came out that way and then went up towards the store. But obviously mistaken there. Thinking these twin single or twin narrows are probably a bad plan. I'll probably go to regular singles once we're done today. We can do that back at the yard though. Again, we're doing field 17, which is off at the back of nowhere. So the reason I bought this sprayer is because it's easier to use than the trailed ones. And capacity is 2,000 litres or over 2,000 litres. So if you empty it, you can empty a full IBC of fertilizer. With the Kuhn sprayer, it's only got a 1,500 litre tank, and so you end up with a 3/4 full one, but you can't, end up with multiple. And carefully load them all up and unload them to reduce the number of full tanks you have sitting around. So how are we doing? I believe this is the end of the street. That's our farm on the right. Over there. So mid-spring. I think tomorrow's late spring. And if that's the case, then we'll be cultivating in that oilseed radish crop and planting soybeans, I think, in our last field. Don't have enough money to buy any more fields, plus I think a lot of these fields are getting already planted, so it's going to be kind of restrictive at the moment. That field to the right looks like it's only been ploughed. We could buy that. It's not too far down the road from our yard. Going to be awkward bringing a harvester down here, obviously. Ooh. But lots of arable fields on this side of the road. Maybe we should consider buying Oak Glen Farm before we expand into these fields, because it then puts any harvesters we have closer to Oak Glen Farm, although that's further north. Okay, that's to the grass fields. It's a sell point. The forest on the left. Looks like if we want to do forestry there, we're going to have to cut down the trees and replant them in order to get full-sized trees. And this is the farm track to where we want to be. Here on the right, past the tree, maybe. Oh no, well past the tree. Here we are, and this is why we wanted the row crop tyres on, because this stuff's getting quite tall. Oh, this isn't... I thought this was potatoes. It must be barley.